This week, leaders in business renew their commitment to prosperity for all of the small businesses across Greater West Bloomfield when the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce installs its 2026 Board of Officers at Connect Senior Center. Joining us to tell us more about how this moment impacts our local economy and your favorite shops and services in town is Executive Director Suzanne Levine from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Suzanne, thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me on this typical January Michigan weather.
And look, it's cold, it's gray outside, we haven't seen the sun in a while, but the sun will always be shining indoors at Connect Senior Center as we welcome the Chamber of Commerce and its new members and its new leaders this week, which we'll have more coverage for right here on Civic Center TV. Now look, this is a formal ceremony, but it's really informal in nature. It's not necessarily official, but you get Judge DeAugustini there, you have a swearing in, everybody joins and gathers. It's a big event for the Chamber of Commerce. While it's not something that's necessarily official by the book, by law, it's an important moment every year. Why is installing your Board of Officers such a critical point in each calendar year for your chamber?
I think it's really important because the community, the business community especially, should know who is serving on our board, trying to help them and their businesses, connect them to the resources they need. So it's a great opportunity to meet with them, to discuss some of their issues. We have some local dignitaries as well. And we love the fact that it's a life sentence for Judge DeAugustini to install our officers. It makes it a lot more official, and it's just a fun but important event for our community.
Not often you get to make the directive for the judge. A great opportunity for our executive director of our local chamber. But it's a labor of love for Judge DeAugustini. She said it to me off camera multiple times and even on this show before. And I know she's had that conversation with you. This is one of her favorite days of the year as well because it really does explain partnership and how that plays such a colossal role in the success of our small business community. How does this gathering and how does this building of a business community help to spark what often is a successful year ahead for the chamber members?
Well, part of the thing is that we have a couple new initiatives that we're going to be discussing, some strategic initiatives to help our community. We know that AI training is really important. We know that economic development and workforce development are some really important issues for our business community. So we have two really great co-presidents. We decided to split the position because it is a really big job to make sure that we usher in all of the changes that we want. We have Sean St. Andre and Jennifer Taylor Boykins, two very dynamic individuals that will help me implement some of the things that we want to do for our community, because we know that every year there are new challenges. And so our commitment is to our community to make sure that they not just survive, but they thrive. So we're trying to expand our partnerships with MEDC, our township. Jonathan Morshe is going to be on our board, our township supervisor, because we want to show the community how embedded and close we are, working collaboratively with our township to make sure that we are a welcoming community.
And what's great about this change of leadership, it happens every single year. You have such a wealth of experience in so many different areas of business in your Chamber of Commerce. How does having a different person in that position with different levels of experience, years of experience, maybe even in different sectors of business in our community, help to direct the Chamber for the year ahead, but also maybe spearhead some of those new initiatives that will help every member and every small business here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Well, I think what's so fabulous about our two new co-presidents is Sean has a very deep understanding of finance and economic development, and Jennifer has a very deep background in education, and she understands what these businesses need to survive. She has a very successful business, and she also runs a nonprofit, Bravehearts. So she brings to the table very diverse skill set. And that's what we kind of need today. I think that everyone in business needs to reinvent how they think about their business. You cannot rely on the old ways to bring customers in. So we really have to be strategic about how we want to spend our dollars, how we can increase our revenue, and what we can do to make sure that our workforce understands that customer relations is probably the most important thing you can do to bring people in and keep them coming back.
And Suzanne, we know all the reasons why businesses should join the chamber. You've mentioned it earlier on. We've mentioned it numerous times on this program, and it's something that you advocate for each and every day as the executive director of the chamber. But for those small business owners of all different experiences, of all different walks of life, as they're members of the chamber, why do you believe it's important for them every now and then to step up into these leadership positions within the chamber?
I think it's really important because everyone has the potential to be a leader. Whether it's in your business, in your home, in education, I think it's really important that we all understand our role and do everything we can to mentor, to advise, and also to learn as much as we can to try to help one another, because we really are connected. And so that's why I think it's really really important for people to understand that one of the great benefits of joining a chamber is a network of diverse businesses. And as you may recall, I refer to myself as a business matchmaker. So I love kind of getting to know their businesses, who would be potential clients, and connecting them with warm introductions, because we all know that a cold call is very difficult, even for the most astute salesperson. So it's really nice to go to these meetings and make sure that you have the introduction and the connection. And I always try to think outside of the box, trying to connect people. And one of the stories, and I keep repeating myself, so I apologize, I guess that's the mother in me, is that we had a young pizza guy that opened up a pizza place, and he said, how can I get more business? So I connected him to all these real estate agents, and I said, when you sell a house and you know that people are moving in, why don't you let him know, and he can deliver a smaller medium pizza, welcome to the neighborhood, and put a coupon on it. And he had so much business from that, because people are busy unpacking and getting settled. How nice was it to have some food delivered to their house? So I'm always trying to figure out interesting ways to connect businesses so they promote one another to do business.
It's a great way for these businesses to collaborate, to find new ways, to find new partnerships in the community. Something like that, a pizza place and a realtor, maybe an uncommon partnership, but when you have those sorts of innovations, they're able to make those connections and build a greater community within our businesses that make themselves and the wider business community so much more successful. Suzanne, before we let you go, anything else people should know about the board installation or other important things coming down the pike for the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, thank you again to Civic Center TV for covering it. I think it's an important event because even if people can't attend, although it is open to the public, they can register at westbloomfieldchamber.com. They can watch it and see who the board is. Maybe they want to reach out to, Alan Mendel, who's a real estate agent, or Kay Fawcett, who's Block Advisors, who's our treasurer. These are important connections because these people are very invested in the success of our community. But very quickly, we have a lot of really great events coming up. We have our Taste of West Bloomfield, which is going to be a really nice event on March 27th. We're going to have our leadership luncheon again with Casey Crane and Rup Raj, which is a fabulous event. The two of them are very dynamic, and they can talk about what's going on in the business community, in our region, and actually internationally. We have our health fair coming up June 16th at the township. So again, we're going to revisit our awards breakfast. So we have so many great events, so many great networking events, our Cup of Connections, and tomorrow we have our Hungry Howie's ribbon cutting. So come and sample some of their great pizza and welcome them to the community, because the more businesses that we have in our community shows a thriving economic township.
They get that support from you at home each and every day, and then from those other businesses within the Chamber of Commerce to keep them in Greater West Bloomfield and let them grow right here close to home. Suzanne, thank you as always for your time.
Thank you for heating things up on a very cold Tuesday morning.